All right, so now before I can actually add suggested jobs and employers, I need to figure out how I can get my matches query set in a little bit of a better way. So if we actually take a look at our view on our dashboard, we have this set here that actually brings back our matches with the decimals, but we don't have this really anywhere else. That is not including the user B or just having a list of users or vice versa or having a list of users with the percentage. We just don't have it set up in our query set. So that's something that we're going to go ahead and do. Now the first thing I want to note is this right here. This is a little problem that we could actually fix inside of this call itself. So if we go back into our models, and models for matches of course, inside of our matches query set function, we can just type out exclude user B equal to user, and then finally exclude user A equals to user. Right, so this is actually getting that new set without those users. So if we go back into that view, we can get rid of this second call here. Get rid of that, okay. And if we refresh in here, we notice it's not there. Now if I didn't leave those, so let's just comment these out for a second so we can see it. And then my user actually pops back up a lot of times. So let's get rid of that. And there we go. So now it's back to where it should be. There we go. And that's a good start for matches themselves. But this get matches call is not great. So if we actually look back into it in our view, what's happening here is we're getting a matches set, and then we have to iterate through it just to get what we want, which is the percentage as well as the user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two of them. So in our model matches, I'm going to have one that's called get matches, and then get matches with percent. So get matches self user, and this is going to be QuerySet equals to self.getQuerySet dot matches user, and for now I'm just going to say return QuerySet, and then I'll do define get matches with percent self and user, and it's going to be very similar. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this query set. But now what we want to do is come back in here and take a look at this. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing. And let's paste it into this with percent stuff. And what we see here is we have a query set. So these two are both query sets. And in this case, it's ordered by match decimal. So we can do that same ordering here. And then finally, what we could do is cut this out and just iterate through the query set now and grab the users and percentage that are based off of that. And then we return matches the list. So this is now giving us the same result as the other one. Now get matches would just be just the users, so we could copy virtually this exact same thing, or we will copy the same thing. And again, I'll do that same order by. This way it gives me the users back in the order that they were, or in the order that they are as far as percentage-wise goes. And now I get rid of those percentages, and now I just return back matches. So these two query sets are really useful. Instead of matches all, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that because we don't need it anymore. So now we have get matches with percent and get matches. And then in our views, now instead of having matches all, I can just do matches equals to match.objects.get matches with percent. Cut all these out. And now that we have this, we can put the number that we want here. And we go back in. Looks like we have a little bit of an issue here, so let's go back into our models itself. Get matches with percent. So in our views, match.objects.objects, oops, that's the error there. It should be match.objects, and you probably would have saw that if you went through the normal channel of looking at it, as far as the error is right there, staring right at you. If I refresh in here, it takes exactly two arguments, none given, so I do request.user, or one given. So one given being the instance itself. So if we look back at the model, these are the two arguments that are coming through. One given is the instance itself, and then the user object that we wanted to use. Oh, and then we've got this issue request is not defined. So inside of our query set themselves, we need to get rid of this request.user because the request is not being passed, just the user. And now we should have it working. There we go. So it's the exact same, but now our view is also a lot nicer and cleaner. So if we just want to get matches without the percentage, we could cut that out and then refresh, and it's the same matches that we had before. This time it's only showing us the matches with percent, which is really good. So that makes it nice and easy for us as far as using these matches and the percent wherever we'd like to. And again, this is going to be the order of these matches. So if we ever wanted to see a long list of these matches, this is how we would do it, is just with this call instead of copying and pasting everything. So it cleans that up a little bit. All right, so now that we've got this, we're one step closer to having job suggestions as well as employer suggestions, even location suggestions. So that's a good start. And the next one, we'll actually start to adapt this to being able to do that. If you have any questions on what we did here, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.